EA Sports just dropped some Madden 24 gameplay on their YouTube channel, so let's look at it, break it down. I'll have my own exclusive gameplay coming soon, but right here on the first play, love to see this. Cover 0 blitz, and Stephon Diggs gets off the line, burns the defender for a touchdown. Last year in Madden, cover 0 blitzes were the meta. You can run them every play. People would just not usually get behind the DBs. And this year, guys like Diggs who have great release, good speed, and are just elite route runners, as they're showing the replay here, they're going to get off that press a lot easier. It's not to say that you can never run a cover 0 blitz, but you can't live in that every play because good receivers are going to make you pay. Just like in real life, you would never want to press Stephon Diggs one-on-one with no safety help over the top. And if you're going to do it, you would need an elite guy to even attempt that. You can't just do that with anybody on your team. So that's great to see that they've addressed the meta there. Here we can see going for a high pass here to Kelsey, and you're going to notice that the high passes are pretty nerfed right there. You see a good catch, but he was kind of in the open field, which is fine. But you're going to see throughout this video, they've definitely nerfed the high ball quite a bit. And you're going to notice some stuff with the defense, some stuff with rolling out, run blocking. I actually thought this gameplay looked pretty solid. I thought it even looked a little bit better than the beta did, so not too bad there. You can see the defense kind of rallying down a little quicker. They're gonna rally down the ball when they're in zone and they're facing the QB. Like when they can see the ball, you're gonna notice they're gonna break on it better. But when their backs are turned, they're not going to break on it as well, which is how it should be. So far, liking what I see personally. Obviously, the one thing that you might notice here is not seeing a lot of good pass rush. It doesn't seem like the pass rush is as good from like a 4-man rush as it was in years past. And here you see a high ball, and you can see high throw dropped at the bottom of the screen, and they also went for the midair knockout. So you're going to see a lot more of that, whereas in Madden 23, the high ball was super OP on the newer consoles. The defense would just not react to those high throws very consistently. They would dumb out. So I'm super glad to see that fixed. Here you're going to see trying to do another high pass to the outside. You're going to see out of bounds high throws. So the high throws are just not as consistent as last year, which is good to see. They should be a little bit more risky to throw. We're seeing kind of our first run there. Decent blocking, getting down to the goal line. He's going to go for a QB draw, which just doesn't look like the move. The QB draw still looks like it's pretty weak because of the animation that you get. Here we're going to have another high ball throw, and look, midair knockout. Last year, that would have more than likely been a touchdown because either he still would have just held on to the ball, because good players usually would hold on to the high passes, or your DB would dumb out and not even be able to get this type of a hit. So it's good to see that they put the work into attacking the meta. Now, of course, there's going to be new metas this year. It's a sports game. There's always going to be a meta. Somebody's going to find something that maybe wasn't good the last couple of years that is now good based on some of the changes they made. And then those will have to get addressed as well. Hey, if you're still here at this point of the video and you haven't subscribed yet, you might as well go ahead and subscribe because you're basically already a part of the family. And I'd love for you to join us on our road to 1 million subs. All you can ask is that they address the stuff that was known to be overpowered, and they did. Here it looks like on defense, they're trying to set up a loop blitz, which was powerful last year until it got patched. And it's going to appear that this is definitely not going to be an issue this year, as they just run straight down. They don't loop to the outside as linebackers, so that was really good to see. We do not want to see more loop blitzing. And also keep in mind, these are pro players, so on defense, they're probably making some extra adjustments, so the defense at times could look kind of weird because they're going to make these different specific adjustments that you wouldn't normally see made in the game. Also, pay attention to rolling out, because rolling out QBs are definitely back this year. They're not as overpowered as the escape artist days, but last year, rolling out just wasn't very viable. You see another high ball that was dropped and he was hit. Again, there's a lot more risk to the high balls this year, but with rolling out, you're going to notice that if you're not actually playing a QB contain, you're going to be able to roll out with the good QBs like Mahomes, Allen, Lamar Jackson, and so on, Kyler Murray. You're going to be able to get out there. Here we see some good zone defense from Tre'Davious White. Again, he sees the ball, he's going to attack the ball. He's not going to stand there and kind of dumb out. We're seeing them here run a meta play from last year, and that seam route would get super open last year, and here they're kind of trying to spam it a little bit to see if it still works, and it looks like the defense is playing it a lot better. Both the seam route and that corner route that goes in and then breaks outside, I believe they're going to run it again here. So the corner route to the left and the seam route to the left, those are very hard to stop last year, and you could see that this year they're defending it much better than they did last year. But again, here goes the rollout to Josh Allen. He tries a crossbody throw, and good to see that that was out of reach and accurate, because we know we've seen years in Madden where you could pull that off every play. So definitely looks like that's still not going to be a thing. You might complete them here or there, but you can't try to make a throw like that every play because it's just super unrealistic. So far, I mean, only bad thing I would say so far is just not enough pass rush from the D-line. It looks like they dialed that back. Here we go with another interception. Good zone defense. You know, that's a pass last year that might have got over his head a little bit, especially with the high throw, but the high throw not being as good this year, and the zone. I don't think zone defense is crazy better this year, but it seems like the reactions are better. I don't think the zones themselves are playing any different than they really were last year, but it's more so that if they're looking at the ball, they're reacting better to the ball. So things that might have went over their head or plays where they may have dumbed out, it seems like that happens a little bit less. And so now here's another knockout again. Zone defense. He sees the ball and he's going to attack the ball. And that could mean going for the pick or going for the knockout. I think they're going to show a replay here. So he's not really in a position to get a pick, but he's able to break on it and get the pass breakup. And they said specifically that when they see the ball this year in zone defense, they're going for the ball more so than the receiver. They're not going for the tackle as much. They're going for the pick if they can get it, or they're going for the knockout, which, you know, that's how you see DBs play in real life. So I like to see that. Now, the only complaint I'll say outside of pass rush is now I feel like we're seeing a lot of drops. So maybe a little bit too heavy on the drops, and here we're going to see a run defense obviously improve. That's one of the most noticeable things, and this is going to get housed. The safety definitely did not pursue the ball carrier great there when he came down, but the blocking itself, phenomenal there. You see the guys get to the next level quickly. You see them make decisive blocks in the open field. So I do think it's going to be a little bit more of a running year than it has been in the last few years. You see the guard here get to the linebacker, take him out. Now the safety number 20 coming down probably should have been able to make this play, but he just couldn't quite make the angle, and that turns into a touchdown. So definitely we'll see some more running this year, and especially seeing how the zone defense is reacting, knocking the ball loose. You know, it's curious to see how this game's going to play out. Here they're going to go for a high pass again. Now this one's going to be complete, so it's not impossible to complete high throws, but if you're going to try to do it every play, it's probably not going to be the most beneficial this year. It's probably too risky to even attempt it too often, honestly. But another thing I'm liking, and I saw a lot of people comment on this, is the momentum on the catches, like the rat catches. They're catching it in stride, whether it's over the middle, whether it's over the top. Good swat there by the DB. Again, DB's playing much better this year, but the momentum of the catches, definitely something they improved on, they spoke on specifically, and it's noticeable. It doesn't feel as clunky when you're trying to do a rat catch where you're chopping your feet and slowing down. You're kind of getting that nice little run after the catch. And here, another high pass, and this is to Kelsey. He's a 99, but he got lit up, and that's what will happen in real life. You put your receiver out there to dry like that, you getting hit midair, and that's a perfectly timed hit. That should be dropped, so that's good to see. Again, last year, that's more than likely gonna probably be a catch, you know, especially depending on what abilities you might have. And here, as another knockout, like I said, only thing is a little bit too heavy on the drops, I think, and that might make some people mad, but, you know, those are good reactions by the DBs, so I like that. The DBs are making great plays, but I know when drops get to be too frequent, that annoys people. And here's a crazy play for a touchdown with the fake reverse here, and kind of some bad user on defense, to be honest, and a lucky broken tackle. But it's good to see that this actually worked, because a lot of these little trickery plays sometimes just aren't really viable. They don't work. They're kind of clunky, but I think there with the run blocking being better, that definitely helped. And of course, a lucky broken tackle, and kind of all the other guys, because of that, kind of dumbed out a little bit, but good to see trick plays kind of getting some love there. Here we're seeing a toss play. Could this be a year of toss plays being back? You can see with the blocking being what it is. I mean, look how they're getting upfield. They're being decisive. Look at the fullback. You know, fullback blocking has been pretty bad in Madden, and you know, he's getting there and making plays. They're running the same play again. Here you go, another 10 yards. But what's interesting is they're going to run it again, and look what happens. The linebacker completely blows it up this time, and they mentioned the adaptive AI for the run. You're going to notice the linebacker, because this play has been run repeatedly, he's going to just shoot down. He's not going to have his read and react kind of aspect of the play. He's going to throw it out the window and say, I know what play is coming, so I'm just going to shoot down there and make the play. I'm not going to have to read and react, because I'm pretty sure they're running that same play again, so I'm going to go make a play on it. So curious to see how that's going to actually play out throughout the whole year, if adaptive AI is going to really be that good. But here we're seeing a throw on the run, and just a bad move by the defense there. He tried to send the zone defender. He should have just kind of let the QB get his yards. We're going to run this back just because I think important to show this. He definitely tried to send this zone defender at the QB because he was worried about the scramble. Then he clicks on, maybe was trying to bait a pick, but because of that, he gave up a touchdown where he should have just gave up maybe the 8-yard scramble and just lived to see another play. But because of what he did there on defense, he gave up a touchdown. And again, the rollout's going to be good. Here you're seeing screen blocking. They only ran this one screen, so I wish they would have ran a few more. But That's something else they touched on. They said screen blocking would be better. It looked solid here, but would like to see that run a little bit more to kind of have a better idea of how much better it truly is. Seeing here some pass rush finally getting home. We're not seeing a lot of pass rush. I think it's going to be a year if you do want to get some pressure, you're going to have to blitz potentially. And here we go. More good zone defense from Tre'Davious White, who is a very good cornerback. So again, when guys are seeing the ball, they're definitely making plays on it. They're not dumbing out. They're not doing stupid stuff, at least in this video here. That's a horrible read. I would like to see that picked, but again, just kind of another display of some good zone defense. You do like to see that. He's dropping back. He's getting depth. I don't know if the zone depths are adjusted here or if this is just the natural play. It could be adjusted, but either way, good to see him getting back there. And again, look at Stephon Diggs, one of the best in the league. You can't press him one-on-one because that's going to happen. So glad to see this. We do not need to see cover zero spammed every play and act like good receivers are not able to beat the press and get over the top. So don't press Stephon Diggs one-on-one. You know, don't press Devontae Adams one-on-one. And they spoke on that specifically, that those guys are going to beat the press, especially one-on-one man. So here you're seeing they're trying to do a short kick, and this year they adjusted the special teams. So you can't really do the scum kick no more where you kick to the fullback, because now you're going to have actual return men back there. So if you try to kick it short, you're still going to be at a disadvantage in terms of the return. They added some new onside kicks, different return formations and things like that, so that you can actually get your best people on the field and there's no kicking it to a 70 speed fullback anymore. So really love to see that. And here we're going to have another high pass that's thrown. I didn't like this one. I get they're trying to nerf it, but that's Travis Kelce. You know, he wasn't hit there. Granted, a high pass has a higher degree of difficulty, but you know, this is something I'm not crazy about. I know that they're trying to make high ball very risky this year because it was a super pain last year, but I think maybe that's a little bit too far, right? Like, he wasn't hit. You know, he is Travis Kelce. He should probably hold on to that, but clearly, you know, they're sending the message that you're not going to be able to high ball every play this year. And here, more good play by the defense, and that's basically it. They have a longer video on their channel, but you know, you're kind of just seeing the same stuff play out now at this point. So that is some of the gameplay for Madden 24. If you want to know more about gameplay features, make sure you check out this video right here on the screen.